For richer, for poorer.
For richer, for poorer.
From spring training to postseason.
From spring training to postseason.
Till Dodgers do us part. Welcome, everybody, to the latest episode of Till Dodgers Do Us Part. I'm Neil.
I'm Amy.
And this is the podcast that celebrates the intersection of I Do and Dodger Blue.
Woohoo.
And you know what? We have finally got through week one of the season.
Finally. It went really fast.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did, actually.
It wasn't a finally like.
7 games. No, 6 games. Hello.
Yeah.
That was weird. I don't do math really well, but 6 games.
Yeah, we haven't had a 4-game homestand.
No, not yet. 6 games. And what's our record right now?
4-2.
4-2, yes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But
you know what? We are still the division. We're still the leaders of the division.
We're still NL West leaders, yes, for sure.
So we have that going for us right now.
So tell me how you felt about the series, because it feels like we started off strong against the D-backs. Obviously, we swept them. I just like saying that. We swept the Diamondbacks. I like saying it. Being an Arizona-based Dodger fan, it's nice to say that. But it feels like we kind of sputtered a little bit versus the Guardians. So give me your thoughts on how you think that this series went, or this first week.
I have to say I've let it process a little bit more. I know we talked about it and obviously when the games were on, watching our payroll that everyone loves to point out that is so high with all of the
right.
Honestly, the top 5 in our lineup is really expensive.
Yes.
And there's a lot of expectation there, and they really have started out the season really flat. So it's very disappointing. And I'm sure that they are just as disappointed in themselves. I know they work really hard to, entertain us because that's their job.
Well, you.
Oh, no.
Not me.
Their job is to entertain us.
Right. Okay.
We're the fans. That's your job. But we are 4-2, even without the bats.
Yes.
So I have a little bit more of I don't know. I'm not as panicked as I felt, but I think part of what's hard about it is last summer we saw the similar thing with the bats just kind of go cold. So watching the season start like this when it's such a highly anticipated lineup, and I'm not saying everybody gets up and gets a home run every time,
right?
But hit the ball, put it in play.
I feel like you're right. I feel like that like you said, it's the first week of the season, right? There's 146 games left in the season. And I guess the way I would say it is I'm disappointed, but I'm not concerned at all.
Yeah.
It's the first week of the season.
It's the first week of
the
season.
Now, I know last night we were watching the game. We were out and about. We were watching the game.
We were.
And I know that you were a little riled up about the ineptitude of the Dodgers offense.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's like I get it, right? I get it because I felt the same way in August of last year.
Yes.
It was very frustrating.
Yes, it was very frustrating when you look at the lineup that we have, and we were about to be shut out in the game last night.
Right.
That's what's embarrassing. Is like with this lineup, we can't get a run in a game. Run, just one. Like, come on. Like, that's ridiculous. There should never be a game where we don't have at least one on the board.
And that's the thing I think it's important to clarify. It's that I think that, you said some people would think that the Dodgers should get a home run every time they have an at-bat, right? And I understand that's unrealistic. But I also do think that at the same time, it's reasonable to expect, given the amount of money that we've spent on this lineup, that the top 5 at least would be a lot more productive.
Between the 5 of them, that they would be consistent enough to get on base.
Yeah.
Almost every inning. Not every guy every inning, but in that top 5, there should be at least 1 or 2 that get on base and potentially score a run. So
and part of it too, don't you think, is just it's early in the season, right?
Yeah.
The rule of thumb typically at this point in the year is that the pitching is ahead of the batting. Okay. So I mean, no matter how well they did in spring training, because they're just getting ready for the season. It's spring training, so those numbers don't count. But I think that's something else we have to remember is that we're also too, by the way, the Diamondbacks are not a slouch team.
No.
They almost made the playoffs last year.
Yep.
and the Guardians made the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
So we're not playing the Rockies. We're not playing some cream puff team.
Yeah. No, their pitching was quite good, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Watching
Cleveland's pitching was
yeah,
great.
they did really well. So that's no knock. I mean, on them that like, oh, it's just the Guardians. That I don't count anybody out because there's a few this year, but we
can talk about that later.
Remains to be seen.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah. So I am optimistic.
You're optimistic.
I was a little heated the other night.
Last night you were heated. You were heated the whole series, to be honest. You were a little frustrated on Monday night.
Get on base.
Tuesday night, obviously they won.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday night, last night, you were frustrated.
Yeah. Pitching. What are your thoughts on our pitching over the series?
Roki Sasaki did better than I expected in his first outing.
We all expected him to do poorly, so it was nice.
Yeah, right. Yamamoto,
and I don't say that with like
animosity.
We just expect him to do poorly. We were nervous.
No, we were hoping he would do better,
and he did. Well. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And then Yamamoto. Both games Yamamoto gave up a couple of runs.
Yeah.
But so that wasn't unusual. It's just our offense didn't show up.
Right.
And guess what that was? That was a problem last year too. Yamamoto would have these spectacular games and get no run support, 1 run or whatever. Anyway, again, early in the season. But it is important to note, like, statistics do matter, and I know that a lot of Dodger fans feel like, this team should be hitting better. It really seems like there's just not a lot of production from the lineup in general, not to mention the top 5. But I did some research because that's what I do, right? I am a stats guy to a certain degree.
Sometimes, yeah.
I feel like it's good when the stats validate how I'm feeling about things, because I feel like overall we're not doing that great at hitting at the moment. You can take the first game out of the equation where we won 8-2. That was the best performance we've had all season. Yeah. But I did some research, and I'm going to ask you the question. And I kind of prompted you this when we were prepping for the show today.
I didn't know the answer.
Yeah. So so I looked at in the stats for this week, and this is as of this recording. So obviously there's games that happened today, yada yada yada. But whatever the case is, but
there's only like 4 games today. It was weird. Anyway.
Yeah. As of today, from a statistical perspective, and the number I'm using is OPS. And if you don't know, OPS is on base percentage plus slugging. So it's considered a more superior number of offensive effectiveness or performance than just a batting average. Because a batting average just means this is how many times I hit for my at-bats. An OPS number describes how many times you get on base, or what your percentage is for getting on base, plus what your slugging percentage is, which talks about the quality of the hits you get. Are you getting singles? Are you getting doubles? Are you getting triples? You're getting home runs, right? So OPS is the number I'm using. So from an OPS perspective, in the first week of the season, how many Dodgers made the top 100?
Oh, well, you told me before.
Well, just tell me what it is.
It's 2. There's 2.
Yeah.
So but I don't know who they are.
Out of 100 players in MLB this season, only 2 Dodgers made the top 100. The first one got in at 24, and the second one was at 93. Who do you think's the first one? Who do you think number 24 is? Just quick guess.
I was trying to think of who's been
knee-jerk reaction.
Pages.
Andy Pages.
Oh, that's right.
Was number 24.
Oh,
yes.
Look at me knowing.
He had the 24th best OPS in the major leagues for this past week.
Okay.
Now, who was number 93?
Is it Will Smith?
Will Smith, exactly right.
Oh my God,
that's really good, actually.
We
did not rehearse this ahead of time.
No, I did not know.
Will Smith and Andy Pages are the only 2 who broke the top 100 in OPS. That's pathetic.
I'm excited because I knew who they were.
That's
so
awesome.
I'm happy.
You did really well. Corbin Carroll was 22nd.
Yeah.
Okay. For the Diamondbacks. Corbin Carroll's a beast.
Yeah.
Right?
There was a lot of really good hitting over the last week. Yeah. Across the board on a lot of different teams. It was really great.
And not very much of it was the Dodgers.
No.
Okay. So I get it. Yeah, I get it. Freddie Freeman hit a home run last night. It was 4-1. Okay. It was kind of garbage time. So yeah,
at least we got some trash on the board.
You don't want to take away from it. I understand that, but anyway. So again, I think it's really easy to get down in the dumps about it, but I do think that we have to be careful not to fall into the doldrum, or not to fall to the trap, because not the doldrums, but the trap of worrying about this right now. It's the first week of
Yeah.
the season.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree with you. I thought this was it was an okay week. The first series was fantastic. The second series not so much. But now for the next week, we have two series. First one is against the Washington Nationals.
Yep.
And what's interesting about that series? All the games are during the day.
Oh, okay.
They're all day games.
Yes. For the West Coast, yes.
Yeah. No, obviously on the Eastern
Right.
time zone, they're all in the afternoon and
That's
evening.
right, because we did talk about this before. So Monday and Tuesday when they're in Toronto, those are
We're
the.
not talking about Monday and Tuesday. We're talking about the National Series.
Oh,
So
I was just. Oh, sorry.
we're talking about the National Series
well,
first.
both series.
I understand that.
Okay.
But the National Series is the morning here on the
Yes.
West Coast Pacific time zone.
10 o'clock.
Right? Yeah, 10 o'clock. And then the Saturday game is like 1 o'clock or something? Or is it later?
I think so.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is they're early games on the East Coast, or West Coast time, earlier on the East Coast, and that's good. And then
they go
the
to
Dodgers
Toronto.
traveled to Toronto to play games 8, 9, and 10 of the World Series. Or that's what my Canadian friend said to me.
So those the two Monday, Tuesday games, the latest time of all 6 games on the road, which is at 4:07
correct.
West Coast time. So
which is 7:07 in the Eastern time zone.
So that'll be interesting. Not watching it late at night.
Yeah, I will be in Canada next week for those games, but I will not be in Toronto. I will be in Montreal, which is a province away from there. And funny enough, it is kind of interesting that they're playing the Nationals and the Blue Jays, because as we all know, who did the Nationals used to be?
The Blue Jays.
No, the Nationals used to be the Montreal Expos.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the whole contraction thing, and they moved the team? Yeah.
Yes, the Expos, that's right.
So we're playing, basically we're playing both legacy Canada teams, the Expos and the Blue Jays, this next week. Although one of them is now based in Washington, D.C.
Right.
It's interesting that as of today, and this is as of this recording, so this is on a Thursday, they have yet to post the starting pitchers for tomorrow's game.
Yeah, that was, I'm surprised, especially because the game's in the morning. It's at 10.
Who do you think it's going to be?
It's probably going to be Sheehan.
Sheehan or Robleski? Well, no, Robleski already went, so it's got to be Sheehan.
Sheehan or Glasnow. That's the other one that could be. But I feel like Sheehan went before Glasnow.
So it's going to be the same thing.
So I'm just going by whatever the rotation was that we started.
So it's probably going to be Sheehan.
Probably.
Okay. So what do you think? What do you think of Sheehan so far?
He's good.
I think he's real good.
Yeah, I think he's really good. I liked him a lot last year too.
Sure.
Even when there was some time of struggle, he overall he's a young pitcher, and I think he's got really good stuff. I think he handles it well. Also, he doesn't. There are some pitchers that you can tell are not keeping it together as well.
Yeah,
as their outing is moving along. If they're not doing well, sometimes you can tell. But
they get a little frustrated.
Yeah, right? But he seems like he's pretty like. I feel like his rookie stuff is done. Like he's more like just in it now.
So what's going to happen when Blake Snell comes back?
That's a great question.
I mean, assuming pretty much they're going to slot him in for Sheehan's spot.
Well, and we have Gavin Stone coming back too.
Yeah, what do you do with Gavin Stone?
I know what problems to have.
As a baseball team. I mean, what problems to have? But again, we started this season just like last season. We've got a couple of key players on the injured list. So we've obviously, from a pitching perspective, we've got Blake Snell and Gavin Stone, and maybe a couple like Brock Stewart is still on the IL too.
Yeah.
But from a hitting perspective, or from a defensive perspective, or whatever, a non pitching position,
right?
We have Kike and we've got Tommy Edman.
Yeah, so and Edman's almost back. He's on 10-day IL now.
So where do you put him?
I don't know.
You put him at second base.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Tommy, yeah, of course.
Yeah, he goes to second base.
Yeah. No, outfield's pretty good.
Page's owns center field.
He's got it. He's got it.
Speaking of which, remember, I've talked about it every episode, I think. I've said that Andy Pages is going to have a great season, and so far
he has not disappointed.
He is proving me correct.
Another guy that just came to mind that I am just loving watching this year, knowing it's his last year as Miggy Rowe.
Oh, Miggy Rowe.
He is kicking
Fantastic.
ass. He is
Yes,
just
he is.
defensively when he's playing second, he's been great. He's gotten on base when he's in the lineup, he's been great. I
agree.
I love watching him thrive and just enjoy every minute
Yeah,
of it.
it's his last year.
Yeah.
He's going to be a coach, maybe in the Dodgers system, most likely in the Dodgers system.
I hope so.
I don't think it matters. He'll be a good coach anywhere he goes. So I agree with you. I'm really happy for Miggy Rowe to have a good year.
Yeah.
Who is having a disappointing season? So I mean, it's the first week. Who was your biggest disappointment?
Everybody on the IL. I don't know.
Okay, that's a little bit extreme.
Who was I disappointed?
Do you have? I mean, you don't have to have anybody. I'm just asking.
I don't think so.
Nobody that you're truly disappointed.
No.
Okay.
It's too early.
I like that attitude.
Yeah.
It's too early.
Yeah.
You can't get too wrapped around the axle about stuff.
No.
Because again, it's not like some of these players haven't produced. They've produced a little bit, but not as much as we would like them to. And I know that as fans, we tend to get really worked up about them not performing in a game. There's that meme that's been going around for a couple of years where they compare NFL fans to MLB fans, right? And NFL fans, they have a 17-game season. They lose a game, they're like, we'll come back next week. MLB fans, there's 162 games, and we act like each game is Game 7 of the World Series.
Your team, everybody's team plays 6 or 7 days a week the entire season, with the exception of All-Star break.
Oh yeah, it's nuts. It's crazy. I have to confess that I had a lot of those same feelings come back to me. Like it felt like August of last year.
Oh yes.
And early September when the Dodgers were struggling. It kind of felt like that. But again, in context, it's 164 games, whatever the number is. 182, 70, whatever.
This is scintillating watching you do math.
Do math in my head. 146 games left. 152.
More math. Here we go.
156 games left. Wow. I'm horrible at math.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Maybe cut that out next time.
I don't think I'm going to do that next time.
It doesn't matter how many
games. Yeah, I agree with you.
It just started.
So, but we've got the series coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Got a chance to get right. We have a chance to fade. And I got to feel like that Blue Jay series is going to be intense.
So good.
Oh, it's going to be
Muncie
great.
said he's really looking forward to going back because that's where they won.
Yeah.
And he just loves it there. I was like, I know you won there. It was so fun to watch.
You know what I can't stand? I'm sorry. I realize it's their thing and I get it. And I think it's pre-recorded, but I can't stand the Blue Jays organ. Da-na-na-na.
Oh, yeah.
Na-na-na-na. Because it's clearly a recording. It's not somebody actually tickling the ivories on the organ. It's a recording. And it just annoyed the hell out of me. Probably because I heard it so much. Because the Blue Jays were always rallying in that World Series.
Well, and also there were so many fucking innings in so many of the games they played too.
Crazy.
So
it was unbelievable.
Yeah, because there was still even the last game was 10 innings.
Yeah,
I mean the 18-inning game was at Dodger Stadium, but
it was 11 innings, I think.
Yeah, I think it was 11 innings actually. Yeah,
all I remember is we won. That's
we
all
won.
I care about.
Yeah,
all I care about.
It's so fun to watch that double play.
Again, over and over again. Yeah, I can watch that all the time. I totally agree.
I've seen this a million. Oh, I'm just going to watch it one more time. Yeah.
I totally agree. So for the next week, who would you like to see, besides the top 5 batters in our lineup, who would you like to see have a breakout week this week?
I'm just waiting for Tucker.
Honestly,
me too. Honestly, I think a lot of people, because we haven't seen him on our side. Nobody looks at other organizations, but
I feel like he had one really good game offensively.
Yeah,
and then he hasn't. But defensively, he's been fantastic.
Oh yeah.
That's not the problem.
Very true.
With a few miscues that have happened, like yesterday's, Will Smith making that bad throw to third that scored a run.
Oh yeah,
that was pretty rare. That's pretty unusual for Will Smith. They had a couple of games where they had a few errors where they were throwing the ball around the field the whole bit.
Yeah.
But in general, I feel like that the Dodgers they've been pretty good defensively, so that's not the issue.
Yeah, I think so too. That's actually been really nice to see because the bats aren't there, that at least these games aren't like 8-2, 12-4,
right.
Whatever.
And it doesn't matter. Like if you're hitting, those errors don't weigh as heavy on you.
Right.
And I think that's part of the issue is that because we're not producing offensively, we have to be perfect defensively. And if you're not, it's like, okay, well, there it goes. There goes a couple of runs now. I don't know.
So I guess, Tucker, from a hitting, from an
Yeah, from hitting
offensive
perspective.
perspective, for
Yeah.
sure. I'm also just kind of curious to see how things shake out with the non-everyday players as they come back too. So like it would be nice to see them go out strong before Edmund comes back and Kike comes back and like Freeland and Call and
Yeah, have we seen Call much this year?
just like I think I don't even know if we saw him in the Cleveland
I don't think we
series.
did. I don't recall seeing. Maybe he did. Maybe he snuck in. Maybe they replaced him in the ninth inning as a defensive replacement. I don't.
Yeah.
No,
I don't. I feel like we saw him a few times in the Diamondback series. So just getting a feel for how those guys are doing this season, because I feel like we haven't seen it. So that's what I'd like to see a little bit more of, which I think we might see with the Nationals.
Okay.
That would be my guess.
So here's a thought. I was thinking about this earlier. Is you've got, I mean, of all the regular players we have on our roster, so you've got Freeland and you've got Espinal.
Oh yes, Espinal. Yes.
And you've got Alex Call. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you got 3 spots.
Right.
And then you get back Kiki Hernandez and you get back Tommy Edman.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? Like who's the odd person out in that rotation? I mean, there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
So what do you do? See, here's my fear. My fear, and again, I don't know if a lot of the listeners really care about Alex Call as much, but I feel like that this is my take on it. I'm a little concerned about it because I like Alex Call. He's okay. Like he was really excited to come here. He was at Washington, and when he heard that he was getting traded to the Dodgers, he's like, I'm going to be in a World Series.
Yep.
And sure enough, the guy won. Good for him.
Yeah.
But I feel like with the talent that Espinal and Freeland represent, and you get those guys back, and you only have 1 spot to keep. Who do you keep from that? Yeah. I mean, you probably keep Call because you're going to send potentially Freeland and Espinal back to the minors, or do you keep one of them, send one of the other ones back to the minors, and then you let go of Alex Call? Alex Call is not going back to the minors at any point.
I don't think so.
He's probably going to get released if he gets moved for any reason. He's going to get released.
Yeah.
So I'm a little concerned about that. Not because I think he's a juggernaut and he's tearing up the world. But I like him.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah. Well, and we haven't seen a lot of Espinal yet either.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, that's kind of what I would like to see in the next series, is just a little bit more of the other guys.
Yeah, let's get Espinal in a game.
I mean, why not?
We started Freeland.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll have to see about that.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. So here's something that you and I have talked about this. Now, as many of the listeners know, we live in Arizona, and so we don't have the privilege of being in LA and just going to games whenever we feel like it, right? We have to intentionally plan it and spend the money and drive out there or fly out there, depending on the circumstances, and go to a game. So this season, we are planning to go to at least a couple of series. So obviously, when the Diamondbacks are playing the Dodgers here, when the Dodgers come to Arizona, we're going to be at almost all those games. Okay, so that's covered. But then going out to Dodger Stadium, we're thinking about maybe doing something over Memorial Day weekend. That hasn't been confirmed yet, but we're definitely going to be going out in late August or on my birthday, because that's our tradition, and I always do that.
Yep.
And we may go 1 or 2 other times.
Yeah.
So something that I think is fascinating, especially when you start talking about sports couples, is a lot of people have different interpretations or different versions or different attitudes about arriving to and leaving from a game.
Well, and it's really, honestly, the game day experience overall. And that has to do with when you get down to wherever the stadium is and just in general. So we have kind of a routine when we go to Chase Field. So
we have a routine for Chase Field.
Yes, we do. Where we like to get there early. I think.
Now, not terribly early.
No.
We like to, like, the first time we visit for a season, we like to go early because we like to see what new things they've done at the stadium or what upgrades they've made.
Yeah, at Chase Field. So we haven't been to a lot of ballparks. If we go to a brand new one, we're going as soon as we can get in, just because we want to take in the whole experience, see everything, walk around.
Like last year, we went to T-Mobile Park for the first time.
That was awesome.
So we got there super early for that game.
Yeah, so we could walk. They have a little historical area, so you could read some of the history of the Mariners and different things like that. So I like just checking out what they have from that perspective, and stuff like that. And the view was incredible.
Yeah, the views.
So,
top
but
notch.
when we go, because Chase Field is obviously it's here in our town, and so we go there most frequently. We take the train and
So when we say the train, we're talking about the light rail.
the light rail, the
Yeah.
metro.
So
We're
they
not
have a
taking Amtrak. I don't know what train you thought
well, when you
people would
say
think.
train, it could depends on the city. It could mean some things to some people, but
Okay. Anyway,
there is a metro light
right.
rail, and it goes from the old Metro Center. For those of you who live in Phoenix or grew up in Phoenix, you know what the Metro Center was. It was the greatest mall in the history of mankind. Apparently,
It was the greatest '80s mall.
the greatest '80s, greatest '80s mall. Yeah. So we go to we board there, and it's about 45 minutes to
It
the
takes
stadium.
a while to get there, but we don't have to pay to park.
Correct.
It's $2 per person per way.
Yeah.
No parking, no hassle, waiting to get out of a parking ramp.
A lot
of it.
A lot of security on the
Oh
route.
yeah, the train is
So,
great. Yeah, and
yeah.
it lets off just a few blocks from Chase Field, and you can stand there and wait until the other train that goes that way 2 or 3 more blocks to Chase Field if you want. But in the same amount of time, you can just walk there. And what we like to do now that we have been to Chase Field several times is we go to Willie's Taco Joint.
Willie's Taco Joint.
It's right on the corner.
Now, I like Crown Public House is the other place, right?
Yes, that's
we
right
went
next
there
door.
a couple of times.
That's
but
good too.
I mean they're literally right next door to each other.
I think it's the same owner.
They share share the same building, and it's like basically two sides of the same building. I gotta tell you, I like the vibe at Willie's more, and I like the food.
And I think that it's kind of fun because you're on the corner, and so you're seeing everybody waiting at the crosswalk to come.
Oh yeah,
from either side, and you love to just call out old Dodger jerseys. So if somebody's wearing a historical player, he's just calling out names of whoever.
So we try to sit by the sidewalk as people are walking past. And if I see a vintage Dodgers jersey, I'll yell out the name of the player. And most of the time they hear me and they turn around and give me the thumbs up or the middle finger or whatever.
Or
I don't know.
Wave or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. So I do love that experience to me. And that's one of the things I love about having a stadium in a downtown area is you can do that, right?
Yeah.
Dodger Stadium, as we all know, no way in hell you're doing that. It's getting to Dodger Stadium is representative of how you have to get around anywhere in Los Angeles. There's traffic and you have to wait and you have to park somewhere and you have to do a lot of walking after you park.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you get a really nice parking spot really close to the stadium, which we've done a couple of times. And I got to tell you, that changed my life that one time.
One time when we parked
within 50 feet of the entrance. Oh, it was the greatest thing.
I was like, it's right there. We don't even, there's like no cars even in between us. We're just
it was the greatest,
right there.
It was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
So as far as that goes, we've talked about Chase Field. Obviously, we go there a little bit. But in general, do you like to get to games early, or does it matter what time you get there?
So for me, it matters if it's an away game or a home game.
Okay.
Because when we go to watch the Dodgers at Chase Field, we can watch the end of their warm-up practice.
Right. So you are
the home team, they go first. So, but when they open the doors, you can't see them. So at Dodger Stadium, when they open the gates and you get in, Dodgers are done, and it's whoever the visiting team is. And that's generally, I think, the way it is at most.
The visiting team takes the second.
So when we go to Chase Field, we have the option, and you can just walk right down to right behind the dugout and watch everything.
Yeah.
They start moving, but then they go back, and then there's nothing to really see until the game starts anyway. So, but you can go way down and see them and kind of up close and stuff. So I like doing that. We get to see them up close at spring training too. I feel like I get pretty spoiled because they come here so much because they spend the whole spring here.
If there was no batting practice, when would you want to arrive to a game?
Oh, I don't know. Probably like 45, like go in the stadium.
Right. Enter the stadium.
Probably 45 minutes ahead of time.
So you like to get there a little early-ish.
Yeah.
Not too early, but not too late.
No, but want to make sure we get in to get our seats.
Okay.
It's always, and closer you get to game time, I don't know. I feel like gets busier to get in, and because everybody's kind of getting there and stuff like that.
I can't stand?
So many things.
I can't stand. Well, there's that too, but I can't stand people who like to get to the game right at first pitch. I can't stand that.
Yeah,
that drives me absolutely.
I want to be in my
nuts.
seat. I want to have been in my seat for a bit by the time the first pitch is thrown.
Oh, I agree. I can't. I don't know how these people can arrive late to games. And that's the knock on Dodgers fans at Dodger Stadium. At least it used to be. It's less so nowadays, but like I'm going to pick on the rich people. But the rich people, they can roll in whenever. They've probably been there for a while. They're at the stadium club or they're at the Lexus, the dugout club, right? And they're just socializing and whatever, and they kind of roll into their seats whenever, right? I can't stand that. I love the game of baseball, and I also too, and you know this about me, I'm a bit of a miser. I like to get
my money's worth.
I like to get my money's worth. Oh my god, that's so true. I love to get my money's worth. So if I'm paying a lot of money, especially these days for a Dodgers game, oof, I'm paying that kind of money. I'm gonna get there in plenty of time to soak in the pregame and to listen to the starting lineups and the national anthem, and then watch the start of the game, the first pitch.
Yeah, and I also like to just kind of take in who's around us, like who we're sitting by, and because people watching is amazing at no matter what. But
you like to be seen. You like to make sure everybody sees you.
No. No. No.
I was trying to bait you, and that didn't work.
Yeah, good job.
So, sorry,
no. No, but you kind of get to know the people around you, see what kind of a atmosphere the game is going to be. Sometimes you make some friends. Sometimes you're sitting next to the enemy, so to speak, or whatever. So I don't know. I just like to get there a little bit early so that we when the game is started, we're like settled, ready, let's go.
Or you're sitting next to really cool Blue Jays fans, like in the World Series.
Yeah. I mean, cool. that was great.
Yeah,
and sitting next to the season ticket holder that's had their tickets for like 50 years, like that was fun to just chat about all the things that she's seen and stuff.
In order to do that, though, you have to actually be social with people, and a lot of folks don't like doing that.
That is true.
So I feel like you and I are a little weird.
Start some conversations and go, okay, guess they're not interested.
We are both very strong extroverts on the Myers-Briggs scale. So absolutely, we love to socialize with people and find out those kinds of stories.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun at the World Series. Sitting next to that season ticket holder family, sitting next to the Blue Jays fan.
That was really fun.
It was fantastic. So
I do think, kind of a side note from our topic, that when we do go to Dodger Stadium next time, I would like to go back to the bar that we went to, or one that's like down by what was it called?
The Dugout Club?
No, the bar, Donovan's or.
Oh, the Douglas.
The Douglas, yes.
Oh, you want to go to the Douglas?
Yes, because that was so much fun going there instead of sitting in traffic.
Yeah, so if you...
It was so great.
Right. So if you go to Dodger Stadium, and I lived there for a long time. Went to dozens and dozens and dozens of games, and I never actually physically walked out of Dodger Stadium. I've always driven out, right?
Oh, yeah.
But at World Series Game 5, we didn't want to wait for an Uber. It was going to be ridiculous amounts of time to wait. So we actually walked out of the stadium down to Sunset Boulevard, and we turned right onto Sunset Boulevard, and we walked over to Douglas Street or Douglas Avenue, to a bar that's on the corner called the Douglas. And that was actually a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun that night because of all the Blue Jays fans that were there. Yeah. That was great. We can talk about that in another episode, so we're not going to belabor that here. But that's...
No, but I think we might from a game, end of the game perspective, even if because I don't know. We'll have to think about it, but the parking went up to $45.
So yeah, the parking's insane.
It's just
Frank McCourt,
ridiculous.
Sell the parking lot.
Sell
the parking lot. Sell the Never mind. Okay. It doesn't sound the same as sell the team. All right, so we've talked about when you get to a game.
Right.
Now, let's find out, how do you feel about leaving a game? When is it okay to leave a game?
There are circumstances leaving a game early that are acceptable.
Give me what's your general attitude? And
I generally like to stay till the end.
Really?
Generally.
See, this is why she's amazing. Okay.
I don't always have to, or if we had to, depending on the game, there are times when it's like, I can probably take it or leave it, and we don't always stay till the end. There are some times when
we're not talking about exceptions yet. So we're just talking about the general vibe is that you and I are both in agreement.
Because you don't know what can happen in baseball. Now, if it's 8-0 and it's just been a crappy game, then maybe it's like, I
still tend to want to stay.
But I still want to stay and watch and maybe it's because our home team isn't in our home. Like the only time we get to see them in person is when we go to Chase Field or when we go to Dodger Stadium.
Right.
And I say that like we don't get to see them very much because spring training, but it's not. Yeah.
I feel like we're talking in general. There's how you feel generally. There's how you feel for your team, and then there's always exceptions, right?
Right.
I'm with you. And again, it's not so much about what the score is. The score could be 20-0, and I would still want to stick around because getting the most for my money, right? I want to get because I'm all about the value.
You are all about the value.
So I want to get all my money's worth for that $200, $300 I spent on a damn ticket to watch the team.
Now,
but there are exceptions.
There are exceptions. If we have to get up really early the next day and the game is running really long, because there is no time limit. Baseball could go into, if you're going into extra innings, then you're not going to want to leave the game anyway because it's close.
Right. So extra innings, depending on how the game's going, you're okay. We did that last year.
Yeah.
We did that last year when the Dodgers were playing the Diamondbacks. And there was that really long-ass game near the end of the season. And we left, and I was... So first of all,
that's right.
First of all, we had just been in L.A., I think. Was this after or before the L.A. series? We had just been in L.A.,
and then we came back.
We came back here, and the Dodgers were playing here in Arizona.
And then I think we were going to Seattle to watch them play.
So I was... Oh, yeah, that was right, because we actually left after that. But we're there... And I was so frustrated because the Dodgers were just underperforming, in my opinion.
It was not.
That was a tough game. It was tough. And Clayton Kershaw was probably the last time
in the bullpen
might ever
he
see
didn't start. Yeah,
to pitch in a game, and I was like, I want to leave. I can't. My heart can't take watching this.
Well, no, I think we were getting ready. I think we were already up and out of our seats and up, getting ready to leave the building when they called him.
We decided that we were going to leave no matter what after that bottom of that inning.
Yeah,
that was so tough.
There was one other game that we left early.
What game was that?
The B game.
Oh, well, that doesn't. Okay.
So we were at the game last spring at Chase Field when the roof is open.
That was 2 springs ago.
That was last year.
It was 2 springs ago.
I'm so old.
Yeah, it was 2 springs ago. 2 springs ago.
Okay.
Was the B game.
We are sitting there and the game is not starting, and it is not starting. And we're like, what is the holdup? And you can see everybody down there and everything. And then finally, because we were in our the 200, the Costco seats.
Right.
So we were up higher and further away and stuff. But finally up on the Jumbotron, they showed basically a queen attached herself to the netting behind home plate directly above the people that were sitting there and directly behind home plate. So it's clearly dangerous. So they evacuated the people that were all sitting down right behind home plate so that they could get away.
Because I think it was 20. I think it was 24.
It probably was.
Time is running together.
It was the year they won the World Series. Oh wait, they won it both years.
Wow. Okay, that was a little bit shade thrown there, girl.
So anyway, all these bees start basically forming this colony right on the top of the netting, and they're not sure what to do, or should we postpone? But they essentially called in a beekeeper, and this guy came out. They put him on a scissor lift. And he ate it up, which was great. It was really entertaining to watch him because he was like, "Hey, I'm here," and he had all his protection on, and he's going up, and he basically just gave them the gas so that they would all just kind of get sleepy,
be mellow and chill, and then
vacuumed them up and humanely got them out of the park.
It was April 30th, 2024.
It was 2024.
When that happened.
Okay.
Yeah. It was crazy.
So it was.
But we left that game
2 years ago
because that was like
because
how
it started
long?
almost.
It was like a 90-minute delay.
Yeah, it was almost 2 hours.
It was almost 2-hour delay, and the game kept going. And that's when we were like, you know what, we got to go to bed.
And they weren't winning either. Yeah, I was like,
we're out of here.
We're just tired. Yeah. So those are the types of circumstances, because otherwise, I'm like you. We're here. Let's watch it. Let's see the whole thing. Now there are a lot of other people.
Keep going. Keep going.
Don't like to stay. They don't want to be in traffic, and they don't care. They're just like, I'm done. I want to go.
That's hard for me to fathom, is that especially given that if you're rich, it doesn't matter. I suppose you might fall into complacency and be like, whatever, I'll just go to the game.
Yeah.
But for me, we're still at a point where this stuff means things, and money is still meaningful in that regard. So if I spend a lot of money to go to a game, I want to see the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, again, there are times where you can't do that. One of the circumstances is if you're with somebody else. If somebody else, you're there with them, and they were the ones basically who invited you, and they want to leave, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Because obviously you want to be respectful to your host.
Sure.
But at the same time, I don't want to leave. And that happened this last year.
And it's fine when that does happen, because
it's not fine for me.
I know. I also take it with a grain of salt that there are so many games, and it's usually only a couple of innings that you're missing. But I get it. I see both sides of it, because for some people it is worth it for them to leave and not to leave earlier, so they're not
Ugh.
caught up in all the traffic and get home and
I don't
not have to
know.
worry about it. But I just think it's kind of crummy no matter what, as far as traffic and everything else goes. So
Yeah,
why
I
not just
understand.
stay till the end? I don't know.
So yeah,
I've
it's
also committed, like in my mind, I've already committed to being at the game till it's done. So I'm not like, oh God, we gotta, with the exception of like we have to work and it's already 10:30 and we still have to
and the
ride the
game's going
train
into
going,
extra
and
innings and
yeah,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
right, exactly.
Okay.
So, but I,
So
I do understand why there are people that, and they're, doesn't mean they're less of a baseball fan. It's just what they value, and it may be different.
yeah,
So
I agree with that. But so the consensus is between the two of us
yes,
as a married couple is we both like to get there a little early and we like to leave after the game's done.
yeah.
There are exceptions to the rule, and there are circumstances where we have to leave early or need to leave early or want to leave early for whatever the reason is. But ultimately, it's not a habit, right? There are some people who, the knock on Dodgers fans for the longest time was they arrive late and they leave early.
They still do, and
Some do, not
well,
as many as used to,
I
though.
I mean, the getting there I get, because the traffic is horrible to get there. I mean,
Yeah,
anybody who's, and it, I don't know how many new fans are going or haven't gone to the stadium much or whatever the case is, um, but it takes forever to get in and park and walk in, and getting out is the same thing.
yeah,
It's a disaster. So
yeah. Dodger
at Dodger
Stadium
Stadium,
has to be. I can't imagine. I haven't been to many other. I've been to several other parks, but I just feel like the Dodger Stadium is one of the worst places to get to, and especially to get out of.
well, what is it, 55,000 ish for
54,000
for
ish.
a for
But
capacity?
I don't. It's what's weird to me is that as an older Dodger fan, I don't. Maybe I've just blocked it out of my memory. I don't remember it being so painful to get out of there. Like I remember getting there is always interesting and it's a long line or whatever, and depends on which exit you go into. We always do the Academy Road exit or entrance, by the way. Little pro tip for you. Take the 110, exit Academy Road, zigzag through the neighborhood. You go to
Well,
that gate.
thanks. It's not a secret
It's
anymore.
actually pretty cool. Well, it's not a secret. It
It
was never a
wasn't a
secret.
secret before.
Everybody likes to go to Vince Scully, the main road into Dodger Stadium. But it doesn't matter unless you park close enough to the Academy Road exit and can somehow get out of there or get near there. Forget it. You're stuck for an hour. And what kills me is they don't let you tailgate.
Nope.
So it's like, imagine if they let you tailgate in the parking lot. I mean, I know there's a lot of issues with that. I'm not saying they should do
People
it.
would be there forever.
Well,
Yeah,
they
they
get there like
wouldn't.
3 hours early and they can tailgate. That would actually alleviate a lot of the traffic going in. People just get there early.
Yeah, that's true.
People tailgate at Camelback Ranch,
Yeah,
and they're technically not supposed to. They have tents set up, and they're ready to go. They're partying.
yeah. I wonder if there's some sort of a grandfathered in for some of those, because like that
I don't
one
know.
that we saw, it was drinkers instead of
The
Dodgers,
LA drinkers,
the
yeah,
LA
yeah, yeah,
drinkers,
yeah.
and they've been coming. It sounds like because that game we went to, they put a thing up on the jumbotron that they've been coming for 13 years. So I think they have the motorhome and they're out on that grassy side. So that might be why they had the tents and stuff like that.
Interesting.
But I have seen people just sitting behind their cars at Camelback Ranch and not really getting
They
busted
can't
for
really
it.
do much about that. What are you going to do
Right.
to police that, right?
Yeah, we're not setting up
Yeah,
tents and
exactly.
grilling and stuff. We're just setting up a couple chairs and sitting
We've
by
done
our
that.
time.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have done that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
But
so
Dodger Stadium,
Dodger
that's not
Stadium
how
is
that
tough. All right,
works
so
at all.
uh,
Anyway,
we've got the next week coming up. We've got the Nationals, Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
yep,
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We have the Blue Jays game 8, 9, 10 of the World Series.
it's
For
gonna be
those of you who
fun.
are interested,
It's gonna be
looking
fun.
forward to seeing a good series. I'm curious to see
Yeah.
how our team's going to respond.
Yeah.
And I'm also curious if you're watching this on YouTube or any place where you can make comments. We'd love to hear your comments or see your comments, as the case may be. We
Oh,
would
are we
love to
wrapping
know
up?
your comments about whether you as a couple like to arrive early or leave late or whatever the combination is. Because I can't imagine that there are a lot of couples who are like us, because it feels like that no matter how loyal a fan you are, one party or the other always has some interesting preference or one that's different than their partner when it comes to games. I'm just curious what you think. So yeah, make some comments and let us know.
Yes, I would say there's also some circumstances with comfort when it comes to that as well. So I feel like we maybe left a Dodger game early in Minnesota.
When it was like 12 degrees?
It was
felt like
horrible.
12 degrees.
Yes. So if it's really, really cold, that's when I would leave a game early.
Okay.
If I'm really uncomfortable. I did not leave on Kike Bobblehead Day when it was 85, humid, hot at Dodger Stadium.
That's different though. And they actually won that game.
And they won. And it was great. But I was not going to leave. I can
appreciate you, bud.
I can tolerate the heat a little better.
All right.
If it's too cold, I'm not going to do that. I do want to ask one more thing. I know we're kind of coming up to our time. We didn't talk about this, but it's a topic that has entertained us quite a bit this week.
What's that?
Well, we haven't really talked much about the ABS, but more specifically, now that it's debuted and it's been out a week, CB Buckner did not disappoint.
Not disappoint. I don't feel like talking about him much right now because, as you know, he got injured today. Yeah. He got hit in the head with a foul ball. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
He had a foul ball that hit him in the head. So I want to leave that topic for a while, but let's give it another week. And we'll definitely delve into the ABS because I do think that's interesting. It's also interesting how little the Dodgers have challenged things versus other teams.
Yes, yes. And there's been a lot of really, I don't know. I think it's great. Maybe we'll talk about that next week. Let's say that next week. I want to talk a little bit more, and we can also share some things about ABS. Yeah.
That's right. Exactly.
It's new. It's great.
All right.
I like it.
Well, thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please like the episode, subscribe to our podcast, wherever you get your podcast, or subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on social media. Our handle is generally some variation of Till Dodgers Do Us Part. And if you want to know more about us, go to our website, tilldodgersdouspart.com. This show has been a production of Loge Level Media, and we will see you next week.
Go Dodgers.